anywhere with MyBookie.
Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Back on the friendly confines of 6 to 8. Wouldn't have it any other way. Except for, of course, this week, and that'll include tomorrow and Monday. I will be with you 4 to 6. Actually, tomorrow, 4 to 6:30. And we'll get you ready for high school football. So looking forward to that. A lot of Friday night college football as well. Goodness, the alma mater. I've actually enjoyed the fact that they haven't played football for nearly 2 weeks. The bye has been pleasant. Jacksonville, you'll get that in a couple of weeks, right? Huge game against the New England Patriots. And let's set the slate. They'll meet for the 15th time. They'll do it this time around in London, where the Patriots have a dominating 12-2 lifetime record against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've always had Jacksonville's way. I mean, you can really go back to 96, the AFC Championship game. And we're being in Foxborough on just a blistering cold evening. The lights went out for 10 to 12 minutes. That old Sullivan Stadium, man, there was no concrete. The wind would whistle in, and there was just really no protection if you were in the stands or if you were, bleeding out of the press box, no matter what it was. So that was a brutal night. And the Jags, of course, lost that game in 1996, and just the horrors of this relationship. I mean, the one game of elation was in, 2018? It was the September of 2018, if I remember correctly, in September when Julian Edelman was suspended for PED use, and right here in Jacksonville. That might have been the greatest regular season month to ever begin a year. September of 2018, they went 3-1, and everything was looking like it was moving. Well-oiled machine. Then all of a sudden, well, in a way that only Jacksonville can do, they went out and lost 7 consecutive football games. So we'll see. 9:30 in the morning, folks. I mean, that's what football's all about. Congratulations, again, for a second consecutive week. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars, folks? Primetime game, nationally televised game, all alone, out on the island at 9:30 in the freaking morning. God, I cannot stand London. I can't stand anything about London. It's just bad. It is. I just wish that I could force myself to say something positive about playing football in London. 9:30 in the morning. Consecutive weeks. Anyway, enjoy yourself. I mean, I guess you're not going to church, right? You're not going to go to church on Saturday, not with this college football schedule, right? Maybe you'll go to church after the game. I don't know. We'll see. 5.5 points. Jacksonville is favored. Your total, 41.5. Again, we'll have it for you. All that pregame, the in-game and post-game right here on your home of the Jaguars. 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. All right, Doug Pederson ruffled some feathers today with his commentary, stating that, in fact, or I guess this was yesterday, right? Doug Pederson, was it today or yesterday?
Yesterday. Coordinator spoke today.
Okay, yeah, I get things a little bit. London screws up everything, okay, including my, when it comes to the simple Trevor and Doug on Wednesday, the coordinators on Thursday. If I make a mistake, I'm not going to own it. I'm going to blame it on something. When in doubt, just blame it on London, right?
Yeah, they speak at like 7 a.m. there in London now.
No doubt about it. So Doug Pederson comes out and says, first one to 20, quote, that's the reality of it. End of quote. And like everything that's being said right now, present time, that involves the Jaguars, people get upset, and you deserve to be upset because you were fooled again. And this football team is not ready. They're not prepared. They haven't been ready for the 2024 season. And when you start to hear comments like this from Doug Pederson, even if he's being honest, it feels like he's checked out, doesn't it? It feels like he just knows it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when is it going to happen. I've said all week long, after the way they performed so poorly against the Chicago Bears, that if Jacksonville loses this game to the New England Patriots, Doug Pederson should be fired, okay? Let the plane land. Don't fire him over there the way that they did to Gus Bradley when we were in Houston and we were waiting. We're like, what's up? What's up? Why are we waiting? Why is there a delay? And we find out that Shad and, took Gus into a room and fired him. Actually did it in Houston. And, it's been reported many times over, but Gus Bradley walked up and down the plane, thanked each and every one of us, the players, the staff, guys like me who were the sideline reporter. Gus Bradley, an outstanding human being. But again, that's not the way you fire someone. You wait till you get home. You wait till everyone goes away, and then you have a conversation with Gus. But that would have meant that Shad would have had to have flown back here to Jacksonville, right? And Shad wasn't going to come back here to Jacksonville. He was already in Houston. Shad was going to go somewhere else. So he made it convenient. Is Shad going from London back here to Duval? Has anyone asked that question? Mr. Khan, are you flying from London back to Duval, win or lose after the game on Sunday? We don't know. Doug Pederson could get fired right there in London. Shad Khan could fly here to Duval, fire him right here down at the Miller Electric Center. Or, better yet, sleep on it. Let it go. Another week. I'm paying him anyway, right? Might as well let him coach the team. I mean, Green Bay is going to have, 60, 65, 70, 75% of the fan base. I'm looking at our text line. I'm looking at my personal social media. If I've received one, I've received 100 this week. Already have sold my tickets. In the process of selling my tickets, Green Bay Packer fans are eating them up. It doesn't matter in Green Bay if you're 1-16 or if you're 16-1. If you have an opportunity to get out of Green Bay, you do. And when you tell those folks in Wisconsin that you have palm trees here, you've got a river here, you've got an intracoastal here, you've got an ocean here, you've got golf courses here, they come and they support it. So people are getting rid of their tickets. I don't blame you. I'm never going to rip Jag fans. I don't blame you. Okay? But Shad may just say, I think I'll wait another week. We'll see what happens against Green Bay. Then you have a bye. What makes more sense? Fire Doug Pederson after the loss to New England or after the loss to Green Bay? What if they knock off New England? I think they're going to win. Drake May's not 100%. Reportedly, he had an MRI in his knee yesterday. He did practice in full on Thursday, but you're talking about a rookie quarterback making his second ever NFL start. How can you not win a game against a QB making his second ever start? It's right there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, again, I think they're going to win the game. And I asked you earlier in the week, does it even matter at this point? Does it give you just that glimmer of hope? All right, you go to 2-5, and all of a sudden you look around the wild card situations. Maybe you could sneak up on Green Bay in a week. Then you're 3-5, right? Then you get a bye. Then you go to Philly, and who knows what's going on right now. Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia, they're dealing with a lot of problems internally. He's snapping at fans. He's taking his kids up to the podium, which is the ultimate cowardly move. You take your kids up to the podium when you win a Super Bowl, when you win a World Series, when you win a cage fight. You don't take your kids up to the podium when you scream at the fans and are going back and forth with them the way that Nick Sirianni is. But Nick's a different guy. We know that. Nick's a very hard individual to get along with. Do I know that personally? No. Have I heard that? Absolutely. Does he look the part? Hell yeah. I mean, he just does. He looks like a miserable guy, right? He looks like the one guy that if you saw moving in next door, you'd be like, oh, please tell me that's not my new neighbor. That's the look that Nick Sirianni has. But that'll be Jacksonville's problem in 3 games. Right now, it all sits there on the heels of the New England Patriots. Okay. I have a question I'm going to ask before I bring in David Widell. It's a hard question. Giving it a lot of thought today. What is the biggest problem that the Jaguars have? If you could fix anything. Now, let's not go Trent Baalke because that's obvious. Let's not go Doug Pederson because that's becoming more and more obvious. I'm talking about between the hash marks. What's the biggest problem? A month ago, I thought it was the offensive line. They played 2 consecutive pretty good games. They certainly went back to their norm this past Sunday. Is it play calling? I guess we can allow that part of coaching. I'm not talking about firing Doug Pederson or firing Press Taylor or firing Trent Baalke. I'm talking about what is the biggest problem during a football game? Is it the way that the defense is being used? Is it the lack of aggressiveness? That's all we heard, this man-to-man style of a Ryan Nielsen defense, the ability to blitz from all over the football field, attack-style defense has been lukewarm. It's been pedestrian. And to see the way that they've used these guys, the constant rotation amongst the front 7, Eric Armstead playing far more on the edge as a backup instead of in the interior where we still haven't had an opportunity to see what I think we all envisioned. You know, the combination of a Walker, Armstead, either a Hamilton or, I don't know, a Mason Smith, and then a Hines Allen. We haven't seen it. And you're taking out those players. You're taking out good football players and bringing in backup either big ends or defensive tackles, and this included when Roy Robertson Harris was here, and asked them to rush the passer, where that's not their forte. It's amazing. It's really unlimited. Here's one for you. How about Tank? New England is 19th against the run. The Patriots allow 130.3 yards a game. Tank Bigsby got 17 snaps against the Bears. Why won't Jacksonville come out and run this man? Okay? Come out and run him. Play after play after play after play. Set the tempo of the game by running the football with Tank Bigsby. It appears that ETN is not going to play this weekend. He's been suffering through a shoulder. Now he's got a hamstring. It just doesn't feel like he's going to go. John Osher joined us live last night from London, and he seemed to think that that was the case. So this has Tank Bigsby written all over it against a soft New England front that, again, is allowing more than 130 yards a game against the run. All right, so we got a ton to do tonight. I will tell you that opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Known Dr. Neil Shmunez for basically forever. And no matter what it is that is your eyes, folks, you got to take advantage of the very best in town when it comes to eye care. So much more than just getting a prescription and getting that updated. I'm talking about real serious problems, okay? Medical, surgical, including surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago. I just went in for a checkup, and he says, you need it tomorrow. You need surgery. And he removed whatever it was in my right eye. Daughter Catherine Shmunez, Dr. Catherine. She's along with her dad. You're talking about more than 30 years in laser eye surgery, a totally different type of surgery where you could have 20/20 vision for the rest of your days. Imagine that. Just ask yourself how much weaker are your eyes now compared to when you got up this morning. Fatigue sets in. Other things can cause havoc as well. Just check them out online. Everything is explained there for you. They're fantastic. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also check out their testimonials by going to Instagram and Shmunez Vision as well. All right, Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. We're with you till 8. Let's kick it off with former Jaguar Dave Widell. He goes into the night next.
Playoff teams limit their weaknesses. Offense, defense, and special teams all contribute.
All three phases come into play.
Listen for the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Sometimes special teams can be fun.
On 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Find your why with membership at the First Coast YMCA. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Come try free access to your local Y every Wellness Wednesday this month. Check out our fitness classes, swimming, pickleball, youth sports, and so much more for free every Wednesday in October. Plus, we'll waive the join fee when you become a member this month. Get active, be social, live healthier, and discover all the benefits of YMCA membership at your local Y or visit fcymca.org.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010xl.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Telling you once again about Chad and Sandy Newman. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. They can handle that. You see, Chad and Sandy can take every problem you think you have and replace it with a promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. The success stories are rolling in. Mike and Lisa in McCormick. We inherited a family home that came with equity, but also a mortgage. We needed to sell fast to avoid extra expenses on a second mortgage. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Everything they say on the radio is true. The home sold in 3 days for full asking price. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states.
57% of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida alumni say the club saved their lives. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida support over 5,000 local youths each day. Help support this work and have some fun at the same time. Join us at the Beaches Barbecue Bash, Monday, October 28th at ABBQ Atlantic Beach for barbecue, great beverages, live music, and an auction to positively impact our youth each day. Learn more at bgcnf.org/events.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
This is 1010XL's Dylan Denmark. They call me Pockets on the radio, but for my floral needs, I only call Kuhn Flowers. Never take chances when you send a floral arrangement. Always use the best in the business, Kuhn Flowers. Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Fourth inning in Cleveland, 2-1. The Guardians over the Yankees. Fourth inning there. Right now, Cleveland has got a 2-run bomb in the third, so they pulled ahead down 1-0. Big night as well. College football. How about Dave Widell, his alma mater, Boston College? They go to Va-Tech tonight, so that'll be coming on at 7:30 on ESPN. Let's bring in the former Jaguar, Dave Widell. Always a fun conversation. Dave, how you been?
I've been doing great, but I'm being inundated with phone calls about people wanting me to return to the field and what the probability of that is. I told them slim to none. How about that?
Yeah. Well, you know, the offensive line actually played pretty good the last 2 weeks prior to the Chicago Bears effort.
Yeah, great, except the most consistent thing on the team has to be the offensive line for the offense to be productive. And, I mean, you could have said, well, you know, Trevor T-Law was great this week, except for the first 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. I mean, this team is atrocious offensively. And I don't know how that the fan base continues to support what they see on the field. And I don't want to get into effort, execution, although I'll talk about execution, but this offense is pathetic, and T-Law can't throw for 65% and then about average 50% completion percentage for the other 5 games of the year. That's unacceptable here as a generational talent and one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. No argument, absolutely none at all. Outside the fact that there were 4 touchdown passes that were dropped.
4 touchdown passes. They were in garbage time, and you know as well as I do, they were what would have been touchdown passes. But the bottom line, it didn't translate to 28 points because of where they were in the game. Yeah. You know that.
Dave, all your years at BC and through the NFL, were you ever on a team where someone quit the way that Andre Cisco said they quit this past Sunday?
I've seen people quit. I've been on Denver Bronco teams that lost a lot of games. I've been on Dallas Cowboy teams that lost a lot of games. But a better definition of quit, you know, and I think Lageman said this, and I don't agree with Lageman on anything, but I do agree with him on this. There's a difference between quitting and there's a difference in being not very good and not doing your job. When guys are loafing, I don't know if I can call that a quit, but I will say this. If all of a sudden the defense loses its motivation to get to the ball. People can label that as quitting. When people all of a sudden who are your stalwarts and who you depend on for having big motors and constantly going after the football like I'm going to use an example from another team, Adrian Hutchinson with the Detroit Lions, and we're sorry to see him get hurt the way he did. When you lose that, it looks like you're quitting. So it happens. And I'll tell you what, right now, I mean, what is there left to this season other than Shad Khan and Mark Lamping, congratulations, got a 100% vote from the NFL to do the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
A unanimous vote. What else is there during this season that can be accomplished that is positive other than ruining a top 5 draft pick?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, no,
convince me. Convince
can't.
me that there's something that can be achieved during this season after this atrocious start.
I can't. It's just so lengthy, man. There's 11 more weeks of this. A 12th week if you add the bye. I mean, we're talking 3 months more of this. So what do you do, Dave? I mean, I think if they lose Sunday, I think that's it for Doug Pederson. I think he's fired if they do lose to the New England Patriots. He hasn't addressed.
You want a completely rudderless team after this? Completely rudderless? Who are you going to make? Here, I texted Baselli during the game, and this is inside story.
No one listens to this show. Nothing's inside. Get and spill it.
Well, I said, you'd make a better to Baselli right at the end of the broadcast Sunday morning. I said you'd make a better IHC interim head coach than either Press Taylor or I can't even name the defensive coordinator. He's done such a bad job. I mean, there's no. I don't think you can't fire Doug Pederson this year, and that's not Shad's MO. He's going to stick with Doug because he did such a great job turning them around after the abortion that was the Urban Meyer season. He's not going to cut them loose in the middle of the season because it will only get worse with no leadership at all. I mean, I think we have bad leadership, and I see a lot of bad coaching decisions happening, but I see poor play. So part of that's on the players and part of that's on the coaching staff. But you're not going to see Doug Pederson fired in the middle of this season.
Dave Widell, our guest, former Jaguar, joining Rick Ballou as he goes into the night. I'm typically with you all the time with this. I don't like firing guys midway through the season because it creates a mutiny and what have you. But I think it feels to me like Doug's checked out. It does. And I have so much appreciation for him. I respect him as a man and a coach. I just think he's been blown away here by team decisions, including Ryan Nielsen, which is clearly a Trent Baalke hire. How does this happen, Dave? General managers do the draft. General managers bring in the talent via free agency. Don't coaches pick their assistants?
I thought that's how it worked. You're assuming that Ryan Nielsen was a Baalke hire, and I understand some of the reasons why you might. However, the bottom line is this. You can't, Pederson's trying to protect the team and his players from accusations of quitting from one of their second-level team leaders in Andre Sisco. But you're telling me that Pederson's checked out? So Pederson's quitting on his $7 million salary? Boy, what's worse? Pederson, believing what you're saying is that Pederson is checked out and is quitting, and or the players are as well. Boy, if any of that is true, any two sides of that is true, we are in a deeper hole than I thought we were in. And the bottom line here is this. Maybe Pederson's looking at this and saying, I can't believe we've got some of the highest paid players. The only way to determine whether or not you have some of the highest talented players in the league is based on their salary, okay? So if you're telling me I've got this great quarterback and you're telling me I've got this great defense and you're telling me I've got superstar defensive ends and I'm getting very little production, and you're telling me I've got these great free agent wide receivers, but we're getting drop passes. What is Doug Pederson to do? Rick, I remember in the good old days when Pete Prisco was here. I'll tell you what, I know that I wasn't Tony Baselli on this offensive line, and I took a lot of criticism from Pete because I had difficulty in blocking 300-pound, very low-shoulder guys in the run game. But I'll tell you what, I was pretty damn good at everything else that I did. And the bottom line here is that you do not have players performing up to their contractual expectations, and it is hurting both the players' performance, it is hurting the possibility of ever getting a victory here, and it's making good guys and good coaches like Doug Pederson look like bad coaches. That's what's going on right now.
Outstanding. Final thought from you, and we'll definitely do this again right around when I believe it's going to happen, which hopefully isn't next week. Who fixes this? Dave, it's such a different game from when you played, where firm discipline and corrective criticism and coaching came into play. Today, you just gave us an outstanding reasoning here. But it's like today's coaches can't go and fine them like the way Tom Coughlin would fine you guys for reasons that were just unbelievable.
Well, you can't do it with this group, Rick. You can't do it with this group. This group proved that they can't handle success. This group proved that they're a bunch of front runners. This group, I'll indict the top players on this team right now because that's what everyone sees on the field. You can't have a $250 million contract or a $100 million contract and then not perform. That's not allowed in the NFL. And I'll tell you what, but what are you going to do to coach those guys? You've already rewarded them with contracts after, let's say Josh Hines-Allen, after last year's very productive season. Where has he been? Not on the stat sheet. And he got a half a sack last week, not a sack. And Trevor Law, T-Law, I just don't know where his head is at. I don't know whether it's offense, but I do know this. They're not willing to allow him to throw it downfield until the game's out of reach. They don't trust him. And what that really means, read into that, they don't trust the offensive line. Give the ball to Tank Bigsby the rest of the season. Play it out. ETN, you can move him right now before the trade deadline. I could name 3 other players that they can do that with, too. And then get ready for next year. Who's going to fix it? That's a big question. But, Rick, I, like you, agree. Trent Baalke's got a lifetime contract here with Shad Khan.
Oh, man.
You're welcome.
I wanted that solo, man. I wanted to be on the island. I want to be the only one identified as a Trent Baalke guy.
About that. You and I have talked about that off air. Trent Baalke fell on the sword for making Urban Meyer happen for the Khans. Everybody knows that knows football. So do you. He's not going anywhere because Shad Khan needs to talk to somebody. You're not bringing in an old-school coach like Bill Belichick. Why would Bill Belichick want to be involved with this? If Tom Coughlin couldn't fix it, how is Bill Belichick going to fix it?
You're scaring me, Dave, because you and I are also the only two during a conversation who said you should not pay Trevor Lawrence yet. We were the only two who said it. Now we're the only two who say that Trent Baalke's going to be here longer than we're going to be here. You got me petrified in the studio.
It's awful to be right all the time. It's a cross I have to bear.
See you, Dave. Good luck to your BC Eagles tonight.
Thanks, Rick. Always good talking to you. Bye.
There he goes, Dave Widell. Always, just a great conversation. Whether they're on air or off air. It's very, very, very spirited. And, boy, did I hear him correctly there? And I knew it because we had talked off air before, but that had been actually a couple of weeks ago. I thought maybe his opinion may have changed. Apparently it did not. He just said, he agrees with me. Man, Trent Baalke, I just don't know. And, let me come back. Let me hit this break. Let me try to hit this on time. Okay? But this is just so amazing to me that this man is going to be able to save his job with all of the problems that are going on around here. There's a dark cloud above the Miller Electric Center. You've got to bulldoze the whole thing, and that includes the acting general manager. And I don't believe that he is going to be let go. I just firmly feel that. Even though I know 100% of you out there, outside of Dave Widell, disagree. All right, we got much more to do. We do tonight coming up till 8 o'clock.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barr here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barr Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarrOrthopedics.com.
I've known Glenn Cohen for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 17, 1971, the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Baltimore Orioles in Game 7 to claim the World Series. Pirates outfielder Roberto Clemente is awarded MVP.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
The Jaguars are back at Everbank Stadium to go head-to-head with the Green Bay Packers for our crucial catch game. Join us October 27th as we fight cancer through early detection, risk reduction, and awareness all game long. Lock in your tickets now by visiting Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
Make your dream of living in luxury a reality in Lennar's newest 55 and up active adult community, Edenbrook at Highland Trail. Located in the heart of Green Cove Springs, Edenbrook offers world-class amenities with a dedicated activities director and homes starting in the high 300s. With rates as low as 3.99% and up to $50,000 in flex cash on our new Edenbrook homes, the time to buy is now. Call 904-643-3750 to find out more. Your life of luxury awaits in Edenbrook at Highland Trail by Lennar.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed is taking action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit, lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. That means this is the best chance in 2 years to do a cash-out refi and unlock all that equity at an amazing rate. Loan Pronto has fixed loans under 5% APR, the lowest in 2 years. You can get a fast refi and get $50,000 to $75,000, even $100,000 in cash. Use it to pay off all your credit cards, personal loans, car loans. You'll end up with one payment each month. And for most homeowners, they save over $850 every month. If you want to keep your original mortgage intact, ask about the Loan Pronto Express Equity Line of Credit. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. So call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
Do you feel a ghastly presence in your septic tank this Halloween? A septic emergency is spookier than a haunted house. But fear not. Duck Duck Rooter is here to rescue you from the depths of septic despair.
I'm Vlad, the Valiant Septic Tech, ready to cast out the demons from your septic system. If your toilet's acting possessed or your pipes are stirring up a witch's brew, we got the magic wand to fix it all.
Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic tank pumping today.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Black Sabbath fired Ozzy Osbourne. They brought in a 5'2" dude from New Hampshire. Ronnie James Dio. Not a big fan of firing coaches in season. I am just not. But I think it's over for Doug Pederson if they lose. They're a 5.5-point favorite, total 41.5 against the Patriots Sunday at 9:30. Get up, folks. Wake up. Wake up. Was that old Steve Miller song? Wake up. Wake up. 9:30 in the morning. What a joke. What an absolute joke to have to play football at 9:30 in consecutive weeks. I mean, it should be nothing but joy all week long after getting the stadium set and knowing that you never have to worry about that for another 30 years. But there's always a yeah, but. I'm tired of the yeah, buts. Let me say this. I'm actually kind of disappointed that I mentioned it. I promised you that I was not going to be that guy. I told you so. They never should have signed Trevor Lawrence to a contract extension. I despise that. I really dislike those people. Those talk show hosts. I told you all along, you should have done it this way. I was the only one who said that. Those people suck. Okay? Never admit that they're wrong. So I just did that. And I'm not going to do it all the time. But Widell was the only guy that I can think of who agreed with me on Trevor Lawrence. Do not sign him now. And everyone else said, do it. Do it. Do it. Get it done. It'll reap the benefits at the end of the contract. You know who you are. And that includes my beloved colleagues. Do it. I'm not going to mention it again. I hate the fact that I was right. I do. I don't like being right in situations like that. I like being wrong. I wish Trevor Lawrence had this team with a 5-1 record and was, already thrown for close to 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns, and that was a well-oiled machine. But I did it, and I promised I wouldn't. So if you want to forgive me, you can. If you want to blast me, you can do that as well on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. The reason why I think Doug Pederson's checked out, he didn't address Andre Sisco. What's Andre Sisco? Andre Sisco couldn't tackle me. I could run a sharp, crisp, disciplined route and run right by Andre Sisco right now. He takes the worst angles I've ever seen. He's put on weight. He's a biscuit away from being a linebacker. Okay? And he's in the final year of his deal where he should be trying to get paid. Get paid. And he's making these comments. I hate it. I'm such a fan of Andre Sisco, personally. He can't tackle. He looks like he's checked out. And Doug Pederson doesn't address him. Doug Pederson a year ago told us he hoped to average 30 points a game offensively. He said yesterday when he met that fierce London media, the first one, the 20, wins this game. That's the reality of it. I'm sorry. To me, this sounds like a guy who's checked out. And it just feels that way to me. Again, I'm talking about two people here that I like. And throw Trevor in there, too. There's nothing to dislike about this. Is not personal. I happen to think the world of Doug Pederson. I'm sure he could care less. I think the world of Andre Sisco. I'm sure he could care less. And Trevor Lawrence. I'm sure he could care less. I like these people. You have to look at what they've done. And in this case, unfortunately, what they have not done. 9183 Ballou, do you think Shad is so out of touch with reality that he thinks this team and GM are still good? He has to be embarrassed after saying this is the best team assembled. I don't think he's out of touch. I don't ever think that Shad Khan has been considered a great football man. He's a great businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's a multi-billionaire. And I'm sure that there have been hundreds and hundreds of times, because I'm guessing he owns hundreds, if not 500s or thousands of companies. I have no idea what he owns. Okay? I mean, I don't get into that type of stuff. But I'm sure he's been in the business world around some operations and some businesses and what have you that have gone sideways, and he's fixed it. He's sold it. He's brought in new people. He's been able to make it work. I'm sure he's disgruntled that this isn't working the way that he thought it would work. But I also wonder, he bought the team for $770 million, and it's now worth what, $3 billion? What's the most important thing to him? Is it to be a bona fide playoff team every year, or is it to make money? I don't know the answer to that question. Wayne Weaver, I knew he wanted to win. I don't know if that's it with Shad. And by the way, it doesn't make him a bad owner. He's not hands-on. He hires football people to make football decisions. Does he take the losses the way that you do? No. He doesn't live here. He's not going to get up at 6 a.m. on a Monday morning and begin his work week. He's got plenty of other ventures. He's got plenty of other businesses. He's all over the place. He's all over the world, talking to some of the most impressive people that is out there. I'm sure he wants to win. I heard the reports of him in Buffalo. I was in Buffalo. It took Doug Pederson 45 minutes or an hour to go talk to the press after the game in Buffalo. Think of how poor that is. I mean, it doesn't register to you because it doesn't matter to you, right? And frankly, it didn't really affect me. But a lot of my colleagues who have a deadline, and you can't get around a deadline if you can't get a quote from your head coach. Now, I almost missed out on locker room interviews because by the time Doug Pederson was done, those kids were showered up and on the bus getting ready to go to the airport. It's bad business. It doesn't happen anywhere. Can you imagine if that happened in Philly? If that happened in New York? Can you imagine what those members of the media would do? It's like, you can get away with it here in Duval, right? So unprofessional. Shad Khan had a meeting with Doug Pederson. Well, okay. But you got to go by the NFL in their responsibilities. The integrity of the league is to go speak to the press right after the game, not an hour after the game. No one does that. Tom Coughlin didn't do that. Jack Del Rio didn't do that. Gus Bradley didn't do that. Doug Marrone didn't do that. Urban Meyer didn't do that. You don't do that. So I don't know if Shad Khan is out of touch. But I think Shad Khan's going to keep Trent Baalke. I do. If I had $10,000 in front of me right now, I would put $10,000 on Doug Pederson being fired. I would put $10,000 on Trent Baalke running this franchise. Trent Baalke has Shad Khan convinced that he put together the best team this organization has ever had. He has them convinced. And I also believe that Doug Pederson is a Shad Khan hire, not a Trent Baalke hire. And that is the biggest card that Baalke can play. You see, Shad, we never should have brought in Doug Pederson. You should have let me hire Matt Eberflus. You should have let me hire whomever. Hope I'm wrong. I really do. Hour number 2 is coming up. This is Into the Night.
Pick the winners and be a winner. Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park. Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza. The 1010 Weekly Pick'em Contest is brought to you by MyBookie at 1010XL.com. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Do the Garber Wiggle, Garber Wiggle, Wiggle Wiggle, Garber Wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber Wiggle, Garber Wiggle, Wiggle Wiggle, Garber Wiggle.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Nick in here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 7th.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see. Hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. Proud partner of the Florida Gators. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
A little serenade.
Yes, sir.
Second verse, but still. I wouldn't call it a hidden gem. I wouldn't call it a deep cut. He was on his best hits LP that came out decades ago. There you go. After another Duval loss, I can't imagine what it's like to wake up every freaking Monday morning. Just living in quicksand. Fix it. And don't tell me that a couple of 9-8 seasons were like, well, this is expected. I mean, we had winning years. 9-8. It was like the second coming around here. It was unbelievable. 9-8. Okay, you were 8-3. You ended up 9-8. This thing is broken, and it needs to be repaired. And it's not as simple as fire and hire. Things are so complex nowadays. You have to have the right temperament when it comes to coaching today's kids. I can't imagine how hard that must be. Because so many aspects of being a great leader and a great coacher a great coach and a great teacher. Is kosher a word? Kosher is kosher?
Culture?
No, kosher. Coach ER. I seem like a great
Never
teacher.
heard of that.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
I just invented it. Listen, this team's got you so frustrated you just invent your own vocabulary. How you doing tonight, Dylan?
I'm good. You see what Ryan Nielsen said this morning about what they got to do to maintain their role and
I saw the entire bit. What part are you talking about though?
So they got to play hard. He kept saying that over and over again. I'm like, this is the National Football League, and we're talking about guys playing hard. Like that was just so head-scratching, man. That's just so annoying.
You shouldn't have to tell these guys to play hard.
I mean, that's a high school thing. I know it because I do it. That guy's not playing hard. He needs to come out.
Where'd I wanted to? I'm getting so many good ones that are rolling in here. This is great. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Where'd it go? Here we are. So the 1939. Ballou. Not a huge Jalen Ramsey fan. But I remember his rookie season when the Jaguars were losing. A camera shot him sitting on the bench crying because he was so frustrated with losing. Who on our team now has that kind of passion about winning? It is a fantastic question. I would honestly have to sit back and really consider who I would pick to answer that. I will tell you on that same team, one of the better players was Leonard Fournette. And I say it a lot because it's true. You could walk into a locker room after a game, and when you saw Leonard Fournette, you would not know if they won 30-0 or they lost 30-0 because he didn't care. And I always liked Leonard. Yeah, he was the same guy who refused to wear a tie on the road. Everyone else wore a tie on the team playing. Leonard Fournette was like, screw it, find me. I'm not going to wear one. I mean, what type of team player is that? That's why they gave him away. The guy put up 1,700 yards. 1,700 from the line of scrimmage, and they said, take him. We don't even want a conditional 7th-round pick. Just come take him. Because he was a bad teammate. He was a bad locker room guy. I know you all hate Jalen now. I get it. He faked an injury. He worked his way out of town. He did the same thing in L.A. He'll do the same thing in another year or two in Miami. That's Jalen. But Jalen Ramsey cared. Jalen Ramsey wanted to win. He knew they couldn't win here. He knew it was broken. Tom Coughlin lit some people's asses when they were losing and saw a camera shot on them on the sideline at the end of the game. Where is that? That's gone. That's dead forever. Okay? And as I've always have said, it's people my age, it's our fault. It's us as parents. We were so soft on our kids. We don't say no to our kids. Divorces, trying to make them happy, whatever it may be. Oh, daddy, the manager at the store told me I had to work an extra. I want to quit. Sure, quit. By all means, honey, quit. Oh, daddy, I'm second string now as the point guard at my college. I want to transfer, go. You don't work hard anymore nowadays. You just quit. Am I wrong? Ask yourself about your son, your daughter, their age. It's the same thing with these kids. You can't discipline. You can't go up to Andre Sisco and rip him a new one. You can't do it. Today's kids rebel, and they rebel by not putting out effort. You can't be a hard ass. You can't be old school. You can't even raise your voice the way that I am right now. You have to be the player's coach. You have to coddle them. I mean, you just can't do it anymore. And this applies for who's next. I'm not talking about the incredible LP by The Who in 1971. Pretty graphic, 4 grown men peeing on the side of a building, right? John Entwistle. Moon. Daltrey, Townsend. Two of us no longer with us. Keith Moon's not around anymore. John Entwistle, one of the greatest bassists of all time. That was who's next. Who's next? Who's coming? Who are you going to bring in? Ben Johnson, 38 years of age? No head coaching experience? Tom? How's he going to handle a situation when a player quits? What's he going to do when there's too many freaking men on the field on defense? How do you have 12 men on the field when this is your only job? How's he going to handle it when they drop 4 touchdown passes in one game? How's he going to handle it when you have 4 false starts in your offensive line in one game? Actually, 2 of those were by wide receivers, Tim Jones and Gabe Davis. How are you going to handle it when you have 2 turnovers in one game? How are you going to handle it when your best player gets 17 snaps and 7 touches? What are you going to do about it? You can't get on anyone. You got to be soft. You got to give them prizes. You got to give them trophies. You got to give them candy. This doesn't just apply here. This applies everywhere. They're dealing with this in New York right now after Aaron Rodgers got Saleh fired. Oh, it wasn't me. Shut up, Rodgers. Of course it was you. They're going to fire the coach in Dallas and McCarthy. They're going to fire Brian Daboll in Buffalo. They're going to fire 7 or 8 coaches. And it's going to be the same thing in every single city. Who do you hire? How do you connect with these players? You can't Lombardi it anymore. You can't Parcells it. You can't Coughlin it. I don't even know if you can Belichick it. I don't know if you can. It's going to be fascinating to see where Bill Belichick ends up. And after spending a year, Bill Belichick is a smart guy. After spending a year away and a year in the media with all these creative little jobs and having the pressure off him, his knowledge and his understanding being away from the game from a year, for one full year, how his approach may change when it comes to handling players one-on-one. I mean, I got friends who own businesses. I got friends who teach. I got friends who are high school coaches. It sounds so simple. It's not. Today's players, man, it's like, oh, it's my right too. I mean, can you imagine, if you're my age, can you imagine saying that to your high school coach or just anything even close to that? I mean, there was a teacher and there was a pupil. There was a coach and there was a player. And no matter what the coach said, you did. And if you didn't do it the way he wanted it, you were going to run and run and run and run. These guys take water breaks every 30 seconds. And I know it's been league mandated because there's been issues. You know, we've lost players on the practice field, and CTE is such a big thing, right? We all cared about CTE. Shut up. You wouldn't be adding an 18th game if you cared about CTE. You wouldn't bring in this Mickey Mouse foolish kick game. I mean, how stupid is the kick game? What am I watching, the ABA? What am I watching, the XFL? What is this, roller derby? You're trying to tell me that this is my NFL? This new kick? This new kickoff? Hey, how freaking stupid is that?
It's going to change the game, Rick. It's done almost nothing.
I read a report yesterday. Only 1 CTE injury since we've had the new kick rules. Yeah, and there's been, 9 return kicks?
2 touchdowns. They've had 3 of all last year?
3-1 Cleveland. You know, this is 20 years to the day that Big Papi hit the home run in Game 5. 6-4 final. The good guys won 4 straight over the Yankees. That was so awesome. I want that for Duval so bad. I want Duval. Man, I'm sticking around for that reason only. I want to see it. I want to see you in jubilation. I've always said, I don't care about the players. I don't care about the coaches. I don't wish ill, but I don't care about them. I mean, how does that make you feel as a fan when you hear Andre Cisco say, "We quit today"? How does that make? I mean, and no one did anything about it. And I know, well, if Coughlin was here, Coughlin would go find him. Okay. And they wouldn't even play for Tom Coughlin. Jalen Ramsey didn't play for Tom Coughlin when he was here. We just talked about Jalen. Didn't play for Dave Caldwell. He didn't play for him. That's today's athlete. Prima donna, all about himself. They don't respect Jimmy Smith. They don't respect Tony Baselli. They don't respect Leon Searcy. They don't respect Dave Widell. They don't respect the founding fathers. They don't. You saw what C.J. Stroud said last year about Fred Taylor. There's no respect for the people before. I mean, that is so different from my world and people our age. How old are you now, Dylan?
26.
All right, so you're in the category, too, of very little respect.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
For older people.
Mm-hmm. No, I actually have respect for my elders. I like to tell
Well, there's
stories
some. There's exceptions.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But my whole, it's the people that were born mostly in the 90s have respect, but once you get past, most of the people that grew up with the iPhone don't have any respect because everything's in their hands. It's kind of hard to, how do I explain this? I remember what life was like before social media, before the iPhone. I grew up with a VHS tape. I remember what that was like. All the kids now that grew up with an iPhone and have everything in front of them, they don't care about anything in the past. They just care about what is right there in front of them right now.
Let me tell you something, young man. Back when I was a kid, man, I had to, from the mean streets of Boston, I had to walk uphill to school, turn around after school, and walk uphill home. Okay? And that's a true story. And it was never easy. But I get it. We want things to be easier. I mean, my daughters came from a divorced mom and dad. The law here, at least it was when I went through it, beginning in, 07, 08? Heck, I don't remember. The laws suck. Screw you, lawmakers, when it comes to divorced dads. Dads get screwed. Now, I guess they've changed for the better. I've been told that. Okay? But I get my kids on Wednesday and every other weekend. And then I just hope that mommy was dating someone new, because if that was the case, then I get the kids a whole heck of a lot then. And you get the kids, so-and-so, she did this, that, ground. I'm like, so you expect me to get him for one night and a Wednesday and ground him? Because it's, so you overdo it. Right? I'm not the only divorced dad out there. I mean, you overdo it. You get him for a short period of time, and I want to start working here, or I want to go out. I want to play track. All right, I want to do cheerleading, and then all of a sudden you don't like it. I want to quit. I wasn't allowed to quit anything. My daughter comes up to me and says, "Daddy, I want to quit." Back when they were in junior high school. Okay, so it's my fault. It's our age. It's our fault. But this also happens. I mean, look at college football right now. Can you imagine disciplining a college football player? He'll pack up and walk right out like that UNLV kid did. Now, granted, he was owed more money.
Allegedly.
We created this problem. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. I mean, you're going to start seeing kids getting coaches fired, teachers fired, whoever fired. That's the biggest problem that this organization is going to have. And it's got to go hand in hand with Trevor Lawrence. It doesn't matter if you have a fourth-year safety like Andre Cisco. It doesn't matter if you have a role player, edge, interior guy like Roy Robertson Harris. Doesn't matter. You win in this league with a quarterback. Well, you gave the guy $275 million. You better bring in a coach who's going to be on the same page with him, not who delegates play-calling responsibility to a guy in Press Taylor that no one wants to call plays. No one. That's called checking out. That's the biggest problem. Got to take a break. Got to take one. I hate it. I do. I hate it for you. I don't hate it for them. I hate it for you. I hate it for you, the Jaguars fan. Get me out of here, Dylan.
He wore 56 and played a key role in their best season ever.
I'm your tape translator, Jeff Loggeman, on Check the Tape Tuesday on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Napa Auto Care. Tuesdays during football season on 1010XL.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to shinatridc.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. Are you tired of wrestling with your old shower curtain? Then say goodbye to the curtain chaos and hello to a new frameless shower enclosure. Wago Glass is clear, classy, and won't stick to you like a toddler at bedtime. Plus, it makes your bathroom look bigger and brighter. Upgrade your shower experience and step into style. Call me at Baker Glass and get ready to love your new glass shower enclosure. Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
The Florida Forum welcomes former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, October 29th. Funds raised for a Kids Care Mobile ICU, a neonatal and pediatric critical care transport vehicle. Kids Care vehicles and helicopters safely transport more than 2,500 infants and children a year to Wolfson Children's Hospital. To get your tickets, click thefloridaforum.com or call 202-2886. 202-2886.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Green Law Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Green Law Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Green Law Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Green Law Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Are you nuts?
What?
641-1010.
That's crazy. Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back, and if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now, get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I've had a few people ask me about the Philly Godfather, and unfortunately had to cancel on us tonight. Something came up personal that was personal to him, so by all means, we will reschedule and get him back into the regular rotation. Speaking of which, tomorrow we'll be with you 4 to 6:30, Monday 4 to 6, and then get back to our in crowd 6 to 8. You guys are the best 6 to 8. I ain't ever leaving. I don't care if Bulky hires. I don't care if they hire a new program director or new whatever. And I don't care. I'm staying 6 to 8. You got my back on this one, Dylan?
100%.
I like night radio.
Let it loose.
Allows me to sleep into 11, kind of lounge around, get some golf in.
Have you ever done morning radio like 6 a.m.?
No. No way. Man, I don't fall asleep till 3. I could never do. Actually, I won't say never. I just can't imagine life doing more. I don't know how Jeff and Dan do it.
Jeff records all the games, all the night games, and wakes up at 3 or 4 a.m. and then watches it.
That's smart. At least he watches games.
Right.
There's a lot of morning hosts who don't.
Just wing it. Watch the highlights.
You can't wing
I can't imagine talking about a game and just watching the highlights as if I
can't.
watched the game. There's no way.
I mean, I watch Florida. I watch Georgia. I watch Miami. I mean, I may miss a hoop game here and there, but when it comes to football, which 99% of the time is what is in, I think that's just such a disservice for your gig. And I'm glad that Jeff does that. I think there's a lot of morning hosts across the country that will read Twitter. Hey, there's people who are going to vote on the next president of the United States based on what someone says on Twitter. Okay? I'm sure there's people in this profession that will talk about a 3-hour-plus game based on what they saw on Twitter. But anyway, the Philly Godfather, see if I can maybe get him on tomorrow. I know I have Pete Prisco at 5 tomorrow. Pete really cut it up on CBS over the weekend. And he and I have been on the same page for quite some time. He thinks Bulky's out. I'll ask him about that tomorrow. It's going to be at 5 o'clock tomorrow. I expect that to be pretty spirited, much like the Dave Widell interview. Maybe I'll rerun Widell tomorrow and go across the street here to Glenn's Liquors and have a couple of cocktails. Oh, that's right. They shut down Glenn's Liquors. Man, my life hasn't been the same ever since. I think I'll rerun the Tim Brando interview tomorrow for you college football fans who missed out. But outside of that, we're going to be ready to go. So that'll be tomorrow, 4 to 6:30, Monday, 4 until 6. You want to join us? Yada, yada. I'm not going to tell you anybody. I don't know what this guy's asking me about. He asked me if I watched some show. I didn't see that show. I'm always up for a new show. Oh, the secondary sucks. It's terrible. It's god-awful. Now, they're missing their best player. And I think he returns this weekend. You know, you got dividends paid off. It didn't feel like it in a loss, but 10 attempts, 10 receptions by Evan Ingram. I think they ought to enhance his route tree. Got an opportunity to get downfield a little bit more, right? Jacksonville's lost in the middle of the field. I mean, there has been bigger gaps this year. I can go back to the Miami game as well. They got beaten a couple of crossing patterns, if you remember that, with Waddle and Tyreek. But it feels like the center of the field, there's no defense in pass protection, but it's just as bad when it comes to long runs that have found their way through there. What did I had the numbers in front of me. This team is worst in the NFL in red zone defense when it comes to touchdowns allowed. 76.9%. That's awful. Teams make it inside the 20-yard line. They're scoring against the Jaguars. They're last in touchdowns allowed. They're last in passing yards allowed. They're 31st in scoring defense. They're among the worst in the NFL when it does come to third down defense. They have 2 takeaways all season long. One of those by Andre Sisco, right? The other fumble recovery. You have one other takeaway that came on the heels of a bad punt. But still, you're talking about 3 takeaways in 6 games. I was a big fan of Deshae Townsend. Never forget my first conversation with him, because it was after a year in which Jacksonville only forced 9 turnovers, 9 takeaways. They went from 9 to 27 in one season. And I asked Deshae Townsend about that, who was the former passing game coordinator. You know, a lot of times it happens and you hear about it and it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and then time goes by and you allow it to register and you're like, maybe they were right. And when they fired Deshae Townsend and they fired those defensive coaches, including coordinator Mike Caldwell, who appeared to be lost, he really did. I think he was just a little bit green, okay, in that new role. He had better defenses than what we're seeing right here. And when that staff was fired, one of the coaches, I don't know who it was, I have a really good idea, but I don't know. It was an anonymous blast from one of them who exited, said the wrong side of the staff got fired. Now, I began the show by asking you what is the biggest problem that this team has. And I'm talking about in-game on the field. I'm not talking about Bulky or the coaches. I still think it's the offense. I think the defense has been kind of put together and it never really felt like it was going to be a dominating defense, even though certainly they only allowed a combined 38 points the first 2 weeks against Miami and Cleveland. Should have won both those games. If what? The offense did their job. Could have beaten Houston. If what? The offense did their job. Look at those fourth quarters. Jacksonville a chance to put it away against Houston. 3-0. And then their defense, after forcing what? 5 consecutive punts. They made Houston punt 5 straight times. Game on the line. What happened? Well, we saw. Game-ending drive. Who do you fault there? So, I mean, it's a healthy argument. To me, the bigger problem this year is offense. I kind of expected, even when the Pederson regime came in, that Jacksonville was going to lose some games 33-30. I would have been pour all of your resources into your offense. You win in this league with a great quarterback and a great offense. And Trent Baalke, outside of the offensive line, which has been a disaster, has tried at wide receiver, tight end, and running back. He's done a decent job. Evan Ingram on a 1-year window was a good job. Christian Kirk was was a good signing. Now, he's way overpaid now. He's going to be $27 million against the cap next year, which is a disaster. That's one of the reasons why you may want to trade him before November 5th. Didn't work out with Zay Jones. Too bad. Just didn't work out outside of a couple of touchdown passes. It's not working out with Gabe Davis. He's been inconsistent his entire career. Never caught more than 48 balls. ETN wasn't his pick. That was an Urban pick. You know it and I know it. There's something wrong with ETN. I don't think he plays this weekend. He's got a shoulder. He's got a hamstring. I think this should be a Tank Bigsby 20 carry a game. I mean, this should be 20 carries for Tank Bigsby against a New England defense that allows 130 yards a game and a New England offense that cannot score. This isn't a situation where you're like, oh, my God, we have to pass because, you're down 21-3 to the New England Patriots. The Patriots average 13 points a game. They suck. And Drake May's a rookie quarterback who just had an MRI in his knee. The Patriots are 31st in scoring. They cannot score. You line up and you run the football. You take clock. You fatigue New England. Tank Bigsby, 20 carries. Feed them. Don't Dearness Johnson me at 9:30 in the morning, okay? If you're going to Dearness Johnson me, make it 8 o'clock at night. I just can't deal with that at 9:30 in the morning. It's Tank. 1st and 10, the handoff to Tank. Looks like Tank's got about 4. Let's make it 5. 2nd and 5. Lawrence the Tank up. Going to be about a yard and a half short. 3rd and, let's call it 1. They give it to Tank Big. Oh, my goodness. Tank Bigsby just ran behind Ezra Cleveland and Cam Robinson. 1st down. Jacksonville. Tick, 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 tick. Come on, do it with me. Tick, tick, tick. Clock's ticking. Defense on the sideline. Oh, this feeling good. They hand it to Bigsby. Looks like Bigsby got a little bit of room there, taking a couple of ball carriers with him. Let's give him 4. That's what it should be. All of a sudden, the defense starts cheating. Jared Mayo's going crazy. Let's get an extra man in the box. Bam. You got one-on-one coverage for some very talented wide receivers. A very talented tight end. Run the ball down the Patriots' throat. Tank Bigsby, 20-plus carries. Tank Bigsby, 100-plus yards. Well, that's a W for Duval.
Get what you need to get you ready for the weekend.
I'm National College football writer Matt Hayes, and I'll bring you stories about players, coaches, and programs.
It's the Bueller Aaron Plumbing College Kickoff, Friday night at 6. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. From their famous wings to refreshing new cocktails, serving up the flavors you crave. And score big with awesome happy hour deals. It's the perfect spot to catch all the football action while enjoying your food faves, cocktails, and beer. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. Find the restaurant nearest you at hurricanewings.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and GIA-certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $2,300 per ounce and hasn't seen this level in over 13 years. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing.
what you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime man cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star-rated windows, enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Picture this. It's a dark and stormy night, and your toilet is acting possessed. But fear not, for Duck Duck Rooter is here to exorcise those plumbing demons and banish them to the nether world. So if you're facing a plumbing horror story straight out of a nightmare, summon the spectral expertise of Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769 and bid those plumbing phantoms farewell. Duck Duck Rooter, where we tackle plumbing scares so you don't have to.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range for our White Tag sales event. Up to 20% off all White Tag firearms all October with a huge selection of guns, ammo, and gear, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got what you need to hit your target. If you're a pro or just starting, their friendly experts will guide you at 4630 Planning Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Guns and Range, gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
1 second left. Hackers are ready to score. Will your business defense hold? Double-check cybersecurity stops threats 24/7. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com today to schedule your free security consultation. Act now and stay protected.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, of course, it's already, I guess it's just barely Friday morning in London. And their Thursday injury report, what the heck did I do? It came out a few hours ago. So this really nothing has changed for Jacksonville. You still have the 6 players on there. 5 are limited. the three hamstrings really stick out, and that's just awful. Evan Ingram did return last week with a hamstring. Still on the injury report, but he's going to play. It's really feeling like Tyson Campbell's going to be activated. He has that 21-day window, didn't play last week. Feels like he's going to go Sunday. John Osher joined me during yesterday's program, seemed to think that was the deal. The setback is Travis Etienne. The feeling is that he's not going to be able to go with his hamstring. Still has a shoulder, as we do know. And he was limited today. So that's better than what it could be. Eric Armstead. Is Eric Armstead on this team? I know there was a big deal about they brought him over. Has he actually played in the first 6 games, Dylan?
He had 1 sack against the Dolphins, I believe. And I think that's all I remember him doing.
Oh, I know. Let's take a interior pass rush tackle. Let's pay him more than $11 million and make him a backup rush end. The brilliance of Trent Baalke. Shoulder, limited both days. Gabe Davis, a knee. You know what this should say? It should say Gabe Davis, hands. Limited both days. Yeah, it should be plural, right? Just hands. Guys dropped 3 touchdown passes this year. Anton Harrison, man, he had 2. He allowed 4. Let me check the pressures. He allowed 4 pressures against the Bears. He kind of bounced back. That offensive line had bounced back in 2 consecutive games where they had only allowed 1 pressure a week, and they both came on Anton Harrison's side. Yeah, he allowed 4 against Chicago. Ezra 3. 2 for Brandon Sheriff, 2 for Cam, 1 for Mitch Morris. Dearness Johnson allowed 2. That's one of the reasons why Dearness Johnson is getting the majority of the snaps. I think he's the better back in blitz pickup. Run tank. Just run them. I mean, I want this to be like 1930 football. I want this to be, just, again, I want it to be a chain-moving game. 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2, first down. That's what I want. It's boring. Hell, it's 9:30 in the morning. Run it. Anton Harrison with a knee full. So there you go. We'll have the official report tomorrow. New England's got 17 players on their injury report. The most important one is Drake May with the knee. There are rumors that he received an MRI. He did practice full on both days. They also had one of their defensive guys arrested or pulled out of his car in Providence, Rhode Island yesterday. And that's all over the place online. He's saying that the cops in Providence, Rhode Island were totally unprofessional and that there was racism involved. It's gone viral. You can find it if you go looking. So let's see today. They had 1, 2, all right, only 2 didn't practice, including the very talented tailback Stevenson, the kid out of Oklahoma. A couple of other notables. Jonathan Jones going to be probably lining up against Gabe Davis in this game, limited as one of their corners with a shoulder. But I'm looking here, their offensive line. And Marco Wilson in the defensive secondary. Kendrick Bourne. He did go full today with the knee. But, I mean, this is growing up there and still being very familiar with the New England Patriots. This is a who's who. I mean, look at this list. Kyle Duggar, Isaiah Bolden, Michael Jordan, Marco Wilson, Curtis Jacobs, Kendrick Bourne, even their long snapper, Joe Cardona, is on this list. So, my goodness, I mean, you never capitalize on a team that is beaten up. That would be the case right now against the New England Patriots coming up on Sunday. All right, folks, a ton of you got in tonight, and I do appreciate it on that text line. I'm not going to have an opportunity to get to you all. Try to respond to just about all of you whenever I can. But just a ton of feedback tonight. I feel like we're kind of going through this together. This feels like a 4th or 5th marriage that just kind of unexpectedly took a massive turn for the worse, right? Because if you go back to a year ago, this thing was rolling downhill. You came off an incredible 2022 where you won a playoff game down 27-0. I think right then you said, and then remember, you could have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs if Christian Kirk catches a football and you cover the tight end. So there were fixable situations. And you were 8-3 and you're thinking, yeah, this thing's working. And then it exploded. You lost 5 of 6. I thought it was a great camp. I got burnt as bad as anyone. My projection was not to win the AFC South, but my projection was 10-7 and a wild card representative of the AFC. Now it feels like the Jaguars feel like you walked in and found your lady in bed with someone else. And this, like, divorce is immediate. You just need to cross a couple of T's, dot a couple of I's. There's no saving this thing now. Right? So you might as well just let it explode. But it is going to be just so fascinating to me. How do they rebuild it? You've got to find the best offensive mind in football to come here and work with this quarterback. You can't do it with Press Taylor. No, it doesn't work. You got to find the best mind in football. And there's going to be a lot of people that even with Trevor Lawrence here are going to say, I don't want to come and work under the tutelage of Trent Baalke. That is going to be what you have to do. That's why the Belichick, and I would love for, at this point in my career, I would love for Bill Belichick to come here. That would be just, I mean, to be able to say I covered on a daily basis Bobby Bowden and then go through these coaches, Tom Coughlin and then, Urban Meyer, even though that failed miserably, but all of a sudden Belichick coming here to go for the record. Just think about how incredible that would be. If he brought Josh McDaniels with him. But we don't know. Is Josh McDaniels any good if it's not Tom Brady? He certainly failed at head coaching stops. That's why the Belichick and Vrabel thing for me won't work. It's got to be the best offensive guy. Because everyone else, I don't care if you're Tyson Campbell, I don't care if you're Josh Hines Allen, I don't care who you are. It really comes down to one guy and one guy only. And that's Trevor Lawrence. Those other contracts will expire. You have to win in this league with a great quarterback, and that is what this organization is going to have to do. Find the best possible offensive guy that they can get, a guy who calls plays. The last thing you want is a head coach who comes in here, brings an offensive coordinator, all of a sudden you have some success, and bam, you have success to the point where that offensive coordinator gets snatched up by another team. Coughlin lost offensive coordinators, right? Remember him losing Kevin Gilbride and Chris Palmer, and it happens. Successful teams lose coordinators. You need a head coach who calls plays, who works with Trevor day in and day out.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
I've been all happy for the last 2 hours. You walk in, the New York Yankees hit a 2-run homer the second you sit down.
Yeah, I saw that, but as a guy who clearly doesn't have a dog in the fight, Yankees, Dodgers, what everybody wants, right?
It's what everyone wants, but the Mets still have some say in that.
They do, no question.
Boy, Judge went opposite field, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he hit that ball about 320 feet, but it was enough to clear the wall there in Cleveland. The New York Yankees have the shortest porch in right field. Cleveland's going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
That was off the edge of his bat.
Yeah, Judge has been a stud this year. Stanton's actually coming on, too, as of late. So they're getting to get together at the right time right now.
Yeah, Stanton at the plate right now. 3-3 ball game, Cleveland and New York. Of course, New York up 2-0 in the best of 7 in the American League Championship Series. What's going on?
Yeah, obviously, that's probably our baseball content for this evening. We might mention the scores again a little bit, and we'll keep you updated. But obviously, it's NFL, it's college, it's 3 games this weekend for Florida State, and the Jaguars that are all winnable.
Yeah.
And you haven't been able to say that very often this year. Florida State could very easily go to Durham, North Carolina and win tomorrow night. Florida could beat Kentucky. And Jacksonville probably should beat New England. So even though we are in football hell right now with Florida, Florida State, and the Jaguars, they combined 5-13 so far. 5-13. Maybe, is it too much to ask to have a 3-0 week for the Seminoles, Gators, and Jaguars?
Wow. If you've put $10,000 on the table, I would put $9,000 on Jacksonville because I think that's the easiest of the three.
Probably.
Did Stanton just homer now? Stanton just went to right field to hit a home. I gotta get you out of the studio, or it's time for me to get out of the studio.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees are going to win the World Series by the time our conversation is over.
I've brought some bad karma here for you.
4-3. I'll put $9,000 on the Jags. I'll put $750 on the Gators and $250 on the Noles.
See, I feel much better about Florida State. Even though they're on the road, I get the sense, you know what, it's going to be like that Louisville game a couple of years ago where Jordan Travis, I think, got hurt or something, and they were down by like 20 points. It came storming back. Duke has no business beating Florida State, even a 1-5 Florida State team. I think Florida State's going to find a way to get it done, and they need to get it done because the pain's coming next week when they go to Miami. And then I think Florida with DJ Lagway, it's going to be interesting. What Kentucky team do you get? Do you get the Kentucky team that just lost to Vanderbilt, or do you get the Kentucky team that went into Ole Miss and won? So they're very Jekyll and Hyde, but if Florida's going to win another game this year, it's going to have to be on Saturday, I think.
Well, yes, and
you might be able to say that about the Jaguars too. By the way,
I know Kentucky's a physical football team.
They are. But the weirdest game of the college football season
was Vanderbilt.
Well, South Carolina.
Okay,
South Carolina going into Lexington and winning by 25.
I know.
I mean, how bizarre is that? We thought Kentucky was horrible after that game. And then they darn near beat Georgia, and they do beat Ole Miss before losing to Vandy last week.
I know. How do you lose to Vanderbilt? I actually watched more of that game than I intended to. Vanderbilt all of a sudden is playing some good football.
Here is a crazy thought, and I was listening to the boys talk about this on the national television shows today. If Vandy beats Ball State, and they should, and Texas beats Georgia, can we get a college game day in Nashville next week for Texas Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
There's a legit conversation about game day going to Nashville for Longhorns Commodores next Saturday.
And they'd love it. It's a great place to visit. All right, what's up?
Yeah, we'll talk a lot of college ball. Irish Schofel, warchant.com. He's up in Durham, North Carolina. He will join me to preview Florida State and Duke. We got former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts. And then we'll go to your former neck of the woods up to Boston. Zach Cox of the Boston Herald to preview the Patriots side of this matchup coming up on Sunday.
If you go over the injury report, that's going to take your entire show.
It's a lot of guys that are banged
17 guys that are hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw 5 did work in full today, but nonetheless, they are beaten up. All right, have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it. Folks, appreciate it. For this audience, tomorrow I'm 4 to 6. Make it 4 to 6:30. So I will bleed into our 6 o'clock hour, half of it. So that'll be the case. 4 to 6:30 tomorrow. Pete Prisco at 5 o'clock on my show tomorrow. And then 4 to 6 on Monday. I'll be back to our 6 o'clock time beginning on next Tuesday. Thank you to Dave Widell. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Folks, have a great night. Keep it here for Hacker. Again, I'll talk with you tomorrow at 4.